Okay then. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and hello to all the folks who are tuning into the live stream from all over the world. Thank you for coming here today. We are the Conjuring Scribes, and today we want to present to you Code and Sorcery, a multiplayer experience. First, I'd like to start off by having the Conjuring Scribes introduce themselves. I'll start first. My name is Clay, and I'm the tech lead. I work primarily on user authentication and the game settings.
And my name is Michael. I worked on the app full stack, but most of my energy was put into making the random events in the quests and deploying from our computers to the Google Play Store platform.
Hello everyone, my name is Nina and I worked as a full stack on this project, but I mainly focused on core game mechanics and the front end.
Hello everyone, my name is Julien. On that project I worked full stack and I focused on multiplayer, database and time mechanics during the game.
Awesome. So we conceptualized this game as a bite-sized mobile experience that you can enjoy with your friends from anywhere. I'll let Michael tell us more about how we conjured up this exciting project, starting with our target demographics.
Thank you, Clay. So before we even made this app, we had to decide who are we going to make our app for. So we came up with 4 completely original users who we think are completely fictitious and based on no real people at all. So let's start on the far end with Blay. Blay likes friendly competition in his games. Well, that's nice as long as you don't take it too far, Blay. And we have Baikel. Baikel likes role-playing games. That's a pretty common genre. That's good. And we have Bina, who likes collaborative games. That's nice, I like that. And we have Julien, who likes testing his knowledge. Wow, let's see how tough you really are, Julien. If only he was here today. So, for these users, we think they represent a pretty good chunk of the gaming community, and we wanted to make a fun, magical experience for all of them. So, we want our game to deliver on 5 key points. First, we want our game to be multiplayer. Right now, our game supports up to 4 players in a single game simultaneously. We want our game to be educational. Right now, it's a quiz based on programming knowledge for junior developers, veteran developers, and hobby programmers alike to test their skills. We want our game to be casual. Each adventure takes 5 to 10 minutes or less. So we want it to be something that you can play during lunch or on the train with your friends. Our game is social. Right now, you can play with your friends, but you can also join a larger community, or as we call it in our app, a guild, and you can work together to achieve greater objectives. Finally, for those of us that just want a little more edge in the game, it's a little competitive, but don't worry, it's friendly. And you can compare your progress with your friends and other members of your guild with a leaderboard and rankings. So, to supply all of these points, we created Code and Sorcery the game, which combines a developer programming trivia quiz with a party-based adventure mechanic. So, I think, Clay, are you prepared to show us a magical adventure of a demo?
Yes, I am. All right, Julien, I'll be navigating you. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go. When you load up Code and Sorcery, you'll be greeted at the home screen with your avatar and username. At first, let's visit the profile page. On the profile page, you can see your username and class, along with the points that you have accumulated from your quiz adventures. We can also change our profile's avatar here. Let's change your avatar, Julien. Okay, let's keep going. And, I like the pink tree. Let's go with that. All right, now I'd like you to take note of Julien's 100 quiz points and his warrior class, as we'll come back to this in a little bit. Now, let's go back to homepage. From here, let's go on an adventure. On my end here, I've already created a game. Julien, can you click on Join Game?
Yeah.
The game link is uppercase X, lowercase t. And there you are. That's me, Insect Bane. I'm the destroyer of all bugs. Now, to demonstrate our multiplayer experience, we'll also have 2 members in the audience join our adventure. While we wait for our party members, I'd like to take this time to explain a bit about some mechanics that we've implemented. As a party, we have shared health. When a player answers correctly, he or she will receive points. However, if a player answers incorrectly, the party health decreases by 1. If party health reaches 0, the party will game over. The quiz is also timed for multiplayer, so if a player fails to answer in time, the party health will also decrease. You also may have noticed that my class is a wizard, whereas Julien's class is a warrior. Warriors will increase the party's health, and wizards will give the party a bonus to the perception rate, which will increase our chances for positive outcomes in random events. All right, we're all here. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. And the counter is going to 1. All right. Question 1. Which of the following is an object literal? Which one do you think it is, Julien?
I think it's the second one.
The second option? Okay, let's do that. Oh, nice. That was correct. Thanks. Okay. And question 2. The for each method can be applied to arrays or objects. I think it's both. What do you think, Julien?
I think it's arrays.
You know what? I'm going to go with both.
I'm going to go with arrays.
Oh, the party has decreased. Oh, sorry, that was my fault. Okay, question 3. Which is an acceptable way to define a function? Well, I think for JavaScript, we have to define functions with def, right?
But that...
Or is that Python? I forget. Oh, I'm out of time. Oh, no. Sorry, that was my fault again. Okay, question 4. What is the standard that JavaScript is based on? Well, it's obviously Java. I'm picking that.
I'm going to go with ECMAScript.
Oh, that was incorrect. What the heck is ECMAScript?
I'll tell you about it later on.
Okay. Oh, here's a random event. There's an old man that is asking for 2 points. Well, unfortunately, I only have 1 point, so I can't give him any. Julien, how about you give him some?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, look at that. He gave you back double what you gave him. He must have been some king disguised as an old man. Now, let's go to the results screen. At the results screen, we can see how well each player performed. Since this was a multiplayer game, all players also get a multiplayer bonus of 2 points. It seems that my rival Julien has bested me again. I'll get you one of these days.
One day, Clay, one day.
Okay, let's go back to the homepage and back into our profile. We can see that the points Julien scored in our adventure has been added. However, while it's fun to stack up points and flex on your friends, we can bring that to the next level with guilds. Each player belongs to one of 3 guilds, and we can see how they are performing against each other. The points that Julien earns also gets added to his guild, the Callback Crusade. Let's look at the guild rankings. The Callback Crusade is losing to the Microtask Ascendancy, with the Scarlet Authenticators trailing in 3rd place. Hey Julien, how about switching to my guild, the Microtask Ascendancy? I know how much you like being on the winning side.
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's go back and into change guild and change your guild to the Microtask Ascendancy. There, welcome to the winning team. And oh my, look at those guild points. It's over 9,000. Now, let's have a look at who the top players are in our guild. Click on user rankings and wow, number 1 is Michael, the most elite player. And it seems I'm still losing to you, Julien. One day, I'll get to your level.
Okay, one day maybe.
I'll keep on dreaming. And that concludes our demo. Next up, Julien will tell you about the technology that we use to create Code and Sorcery.
Thank you, Clay. That was a very fun game. So I'm now going to introduce to everyone the tech stack we used for this app. For the backend, we decided to use Firebase and use Firebase authentication for user authentication. We use Cloud Firestore for NoSQL database, and cloud storage to store assets we have in the game, such as the sprites for the monsters. For the front end, we use the Flutter framework, which is using the Dart programming language, and we are currently deployed on the platform Google Play. And speaking about tech stack, I would like to introduce one of the main problems we had developing that application, which was multiplayer, because when we looked on how to do a multiplayer game using the Flutter framework, there was nothing. So we had to engineer a solution on how to have multiplayer in the game. And I would like to give you a quick run-through on how we achieved that. So first, when player one creates a game object will be created in the database. This game object will have multiple information for every player and everything going on inside the game. Then, as you might have seen earlier, in the game lobby, the ID of that game object will be displayed. This ID is also the room code that player 1 can send to his friends. Then once player 2 gets that room code, he will click on join the game, just as I did during the demo. And once he inputs the room code, he will join the game lobby with his friend and be added to the game object as player 2. And his class, as I was a warrior, was also added to the game object. Then once the game starts, all the players are transported immediately to the game, and the game object will keep track of everyone's scores and choices in real time. Then once everyone quits the game, everyone's profile will be updated with the points they scored during the game. And speaking of multiplayer, I'm also going on to future features, because one of the future features we would like to implement is bigger multiplayer games. Currently, as Michael said earlier, we have up to 4-player games. We would like to reach at least a number of 12 people, because currently in our cohort at Code Chrysalis, we have 12 people, and we would like to be able to play this game together once graduation is over. And we would also like to have more classes and game settings. We are currently thinking of adding a rogue class, which will give the players a bonus during time sessions, and game settings, such as the time attack mode, to make things a little more tense. We would like to have a more diverse selection of avatars and achievements, so that players can customize the application as they want to do so. And we would also like to have players to be able to submit new quiz questions for review. That way they would be able to craft custom adventures to play with their friends. And now I'm going to pass it on to Nina to talk to us about the challenges we faced during the development of our project.
Thank you, Julien. I'm now going to talk to you a little bit about the major challenges that we had during this project. Number one would be time management. If you have to deal with a completely new tech stack, as we did for this project, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes how long things will take to implement if you do them for the first time. So that was a major challenge for us, especially in week one. Moving on to teamwork and team organization. We had a completely new team setup, so first we really needed to take some time and make sure to learn everybody's work styles and find an efficient way to collaborate. And then last but certainly not least, as Julien was saying, implementing multiplayer was quite tricky, and especially because we wanted to kind of do it together with timed sessions, it was really, really hard to implement for us to really have everybody start and end exactly at the same time. Moving on to the learnings that we had, and which are of course also tied to our major challenges. Number one would be team communication, especially if you have a team that has at least one remote member. In our case, the first 2 weeks were completely remote for everybody, so it was especially essential for us to have a good team flow. Next, never underestimate tasks that you've never done before. As mentioned previously, with a completely new tech stack, it's sometimes hard to say how long something will take. So after week one, we had a meeting and we saw that although we were still on track, we were having a hard time really keeping to our timelines. So we started implementing a meeting at the beginning of every day where we were making sure that everybody knew what they were doing and how long it was going to take. And then at the end of the day, we would talk about it again and then kind of evaluate where we were and make adjustments where necessary. And then lastly, starting a project from scratch as a team. So this was an experience that really gave us the opportunity to explore a whole project from start to finish. We were able to make an inception meeting, we defined our tech stack, our personas, and we went to full deployment. So that was an absolutely fantastic experience for all of us. I'm going to pass it on to Clay now for closing words.
Thank you, Nina. Once again, thank you all so much for coming here today. And thank you, Antonio and Vic, for joining our fun demonstration. I want to give special thanks to the wonderful staff at Code Chrysalis. We wouldn't have made it here if it weren't for your patience and guidance. And last, I want to thank the members of the Conjuring Scribes for working so hard and putting so much heart into this project. Michael, Nina, and Julien, you're all awesome, and it was an honor to create Code and Sorcery with you. This concludes our exciting project. Check us out on GitHub and download our app on Google Play. We look forward to seeing you conjure up fun experiences with your friends.